Let's talk about London. The London discourse, it has reared its ugly head again regarding the Jaguars, thanks to the confirmation from the league that the Jags will be playing 2 straight games in London this year. Of course, one home game against the Atlanta Falcons and an away game the following week, week 5 against the Bills. So, folks, they're starting to talk again about the Jaguars in London, playing 2 games over there. And with Roger Goodell talking earlier this year about a potential European division in the NFL down the road, that brings the Jaguars into focus here with playing 2 London games, and folks like Mike Florio and others that have been talking about the Jaguars moving to London for a decade plus now, they're talking about it again. And this conversation, for me, it's pretty painful. I'm a Jacksonville guy through and through. I love the city of Jacksonville. I love the Jaguars. And I think that the city absolutely deserves the team and can support the team and has supported the team. Looking at this thing in regards to the actual 2023 games, I do like playing the Falcons over there if you're going to take away a home game, right? I think the Falcons is not going to be one of the bigger draws. They don't have a star quarterback. They do have some young talent on the offensive side of the ball. A lot of fun with Bijan Robinson, Kyle Pitts, Drake London, etc. But not a game that Jaguars fans are going to be devastated to lose. And the fact that you're playing the Falcons early, I think also bodes well for you. It's week 4. It's a young football team that I think does have the potential to get hot down the stretch and play some better football, but probably will take a little while to come together. So that's a tougher trip for the Falcons going over to London versus just coming down about 45-minute plane ride to Jacksonville. Then you play the Bills the following week, again away at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The Jaguars won there in 2021. You've already beaten the Bills in London, right? Back in 2015, and not having to go to Buffalo certainly is a win for the Jaguars. Making it a neutral site game, that's good for the Jaguars. I think that benefits them against one of the best teams in the conference, and you never know, that could have playoff seeding implications between those 2 squads. We'll see how it goes. Long way to go for both teams, for the entire league right now, but looking at the schedule, looking at the top contenders in the AFC, that game could have playoff implications on it. And, will the Jaguars have their bye week following the London trip in week 6? Doug did not want it after the London trip last year. This is a different London trip because it's a 2-game trip, but Doug did not want it after the London trip. And I think you could see the Jaguars still having their bye week later on in the season, even after a 2-week trip to London. Looking at this from the NFL perspective, this is intentional, right? It's with the Jaguars. They have been the team that went over there from the very beginning, and the NFL wants to see from an operational standpoint, an operational level, how is it going to work for a team to play in London for 2 straight weeks? This is kind of a step in the direction of seeing how this can be more sustainable long-term in terms of having a team over there. Again, Roger Goodell referenced a European division earlier this year, talking about having 4 teams over there potentially. Don't know if that will be expansion, etc., whatever. But bigger picture for the Jaguars beyond just that impact on the 2023 games, you're talking about the dreaded potential, all these talking heads talking about a potential move to London. I get it. The Jaguars are low-hanging fruit. They've been going over there for over a decade now. It's just easy to connect those dots. Easy to connect the dots between the Jaguars and London, connections between Shad Khan and London, obviously. That's not going to go away, at least not for now. There's also the fact that the Jaguars, they do have the oldest stadium in the league that hasn't had a major renovation. And the NFL does not like that. They want to get that upgraded. With the news that the Bills will be undergoing a massive renovation on their stadium, the Jaguars do have the oldest stadium in the league that has not either been rebuilt or renovated in excess of $400 million. So everyone, they're looking at these connection points between the Jaguars and London, right? But there are so many connection points between the Jaguars and the place they actually call home, Jacksonville, right? Signs that this team isn't going anywhere. They just built a new state-of-the-art facility, a football performance center that will be able to house all of their football operations from a daily perspective. That costs hundreds of millions of dollars. And you talk about the fact that, yeah, they are in talks with the city on a massive stadium renovation. That has not been agreed upon yet. It's not going to be agreed upon for some time. Still got negotiations going on with that. But if the Jaguars and the city can get the ball rolling and make that official at some point in the near future, that is what will put the London talk to bed, at least for a while. Until that happens, they're going to keep talking about it. And when we say renovation, this is not a simple renovation. It would feel like an entire new facility, a new stadium for the Jaguars in Jacksonville. From the concourses to the seating to shade, yes, shade. You heard me correctly. Everything would be upgraded within that stadium, and it would feel like an entirely different experience. Earlier today on 1010XL, the mayor shared that they are in those negotiations, the city of Jacksonville and the Jacksonville Jaguars, and those will continue on with the next mayor probably. And by the way, go vote next week, Jacksonville. And whenever things do get worked out, he said it could take 2 years to complete, and the Jags won't be able to play games in the stadium during that 2-year renovation span. And the mayor was insistent. Lenny Curry said, this team is going to play or try to play their home games in Jacksonville during that time, during the renovation period. We'll see how all that plays out. I'm not sure what local facility would really make sense for such a big event, but that's what the mayor says. The bottom line here is until the massive renovation is official, we'll continue to hear the chatter. But even after the stadium renovations, the connection to London is not going away. The Jaguars will likely continue to have games over there, to continue to have their long-standing relationship with the city, even after a potential stadium renovation. I don't know that the Jaguars will stop going to London. Shad Khan makes a lot of money on the London games. It's a revenue stream that this club does not want to lose. And let's not forget, for the pandemic, the Jaguars brass was actually pushing for 2 home games in London. That obviously went away due to COVID, but that's what was on the table prior to 2020. I'm praying that the Jaguars, they can get that deal locked down between the city and the team for the stadium renovations and put this talk to bed for once and for all. But for now, I think that you can take solace in the fact that you have a team that you can be proud of. With Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence leading the way, they will handle everything that comes with class and humility. And I think you can get excited about that. You can get excited about the fact that they're pretty damn good on the football field too. Thanks for tuning in, Duval.